Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. Today we're going to talk about a 2002 serial killer movie with Marc Singer in it. I mean, sadly he's not the main character in it, but, you know, he tries. So let's review Angel Blade. This movie starts out with romantic candles, wine, chains, drugged out prostitute, you know, typical weekend. And then a killer who's teasing her with a knife before he slices her throat. So, killer's established. Then we see the suspended detective Bradley Cooper going into his motel room with some groceries, but he's not alone. We got Lieutenant Paul Jackson, and he wants him back because these angel killings, they're getting out of hand. Then we get a flashback of his pregnant wife, you know.
He was getting heat from both sides. You know that, Cooper. It wasn't personal.
Hey, I'm sorry, Lieutenant, but when I bring in a killer that's on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, and I don't get thanks, I get the boot, well, I take things personally.
There's another killing of a pregnant prostitute, which hits close to home for Cooper, so he goes back to work and walks in on Commissioner Shank shooting a commercial with some shitty dialogue. Who talks like this?
You better watch your mouth, son. I won't suspend you this time. I'll have you chalking tires in the suburbs.
Well, that's not like you, Commissioner. Usually you wait till I bring the criminal in first.
Excuse us, Commissioner.
Social Service Director Dr. Martin Gites dealt with both girls, so obviously they're going to make us think he's the killer, but he's played by Marc Singer. He's too cool to be the killer, isn't he? Well, Bradley makes his interest pretty obvious.
I'm here to help. It's what I do. If you contact Atlanta, I think you'll find I revived an ailing system there. I hope to do the same here in Las Vegas.
Cooper tries to track down his next lead, the Angel Underwear, and we run into Frida, Indy's girl.
I'm looking for this lingerie. It's panties with little blue angels on them.
That would be the Mort Campbell collection. Oh, we moved a whole bunch out last month. It's the same guy.
He talks to Samantha, and we keep getting random erotic nudity for the sake of nudity. Sadly, the quality barely feels above 480. He hooks up with Samantha for some reason. I guess he's over his wife's death despite those flashbacks we keep seeing. And he goes to visit Gites at night and breaks into his house. Not what a cop generally does. And he finds a tape on Tyrone, Washington, who was the panty buyer. Pretty obvious suspect there. And Tyrone conveniently calls and leaves a message. More erotic imagery, and then suddenly fooling around and having sex with Samantha. Then driving. And then he goes to a hotel where no girl wears tops. I'm not complaining, but I don't know if you can see the steady decline of this movie and the reasons that will become apparent. And he visits Tyrone, who's beating his girl, and he doesn't identify himself, and he pulls out a gun, so Tyrone starts choking him out. And he would have won too if it wasn't for that desk girl knocking him out. Then we get an interrogation scene. Yeah.
Did you hit her?
Yeah, I hit Lola sometimes, man. But only when she deserved it.
When was that?
When she pissed me the fuck off, man.
It doesn't take much for a woman to piss you the fuck off, do they, Tyrone?
Tyrone was just about to say who or where he got the underwear from, and Dr. Gites shows up with the commissioner, who gives this little form that releases Tyrone. I mean, whose side is the commissioner on anyways? We get to see what happened to Susan, Bradley's wife. She was taking photos on a rooftop, and she wanted to get the right angle and reached a little too far.
It's no wonder you're such a troubled man.
We see another victim getting chained up and killed, and Bradley gets called to the commissioner's office. He wants him off the investigation, but it's kind of why he was brought back to investigate this. Then we get some chatting with Samantha. She says she's into some real stuff, but I feel bad for this girl. Lots of love scenes with the writer/producer/director/lead actor. Gotta be kind of awkward.
You forget I'm a cop. I'm here to serve and protect, and right now I'm serving. Officer requesting assistance.
She pulls a knife on him and teases him because everybody has to be a suspect in this. Then we get a weird smoking dude at the fashion show where all these girls are walking around modeling their underwear and dancing it. And he buys a lot of what Samantha was modeling, gives her a lot of money. Frida's counting all the money, and then she hears a noise, so she throws it in the safe, grabs a gun and investigates. She fires the gun, and then is snuck up on, and her throat is slit. but she doesn't fit the profile. The next day, Samantha's being questioned. We see Singer working out. You know, that guy's always in great shape. And then Detective Kiel grabs a knife, stands over Sam after putting on gloves, and then goes into the kitchen. That's some stupid red herring shit right there. Bradley shows up and he puts Samantha to bed, and then he has a flashback of his wife, and he's wearing the same clothes. Samantha has Tyrone come into her place and stab her, but it's just a bad dream. And then it's another bad dream. The next day, Samantha seems recovered from her trauma, and she handcuffs Bradley to the bed and tells him some history lessons and smears shaving cream on his ass. Then we get some more erotic imagery, and then she's under him crying. I mean, take the day off. You don't always have to sleep with her every time. But again, writer, producer, director, lead actor.
Just promise me you won't hurt me, okay?
Tyrone calls Lieutenant Jackson from Gites' place and says he's gotta kill the bitch, so they all head over to Gites. But they find the commissioner dead. Bradley, who's watching your girl right now? He's calling Sam, but she's not picking up, so he drives over. Then they find the tape of Tyrone's, which was saying the same thing to Lieutenant Jackson, so there's a recording, no surprise. Frida's still alive and at the hospital because throat slits ain't what they used to be. And she gets shown a picture and she nods. And then we see Samantha making dinner at some house with Bradley's wife's pictures all over the place. Jackson goes to Sam's place and sees a note at a friend's house in the mountains. And then Bradley and Sam are drinking wine, making out, and now he's acting weird.
I want you to promise me that you're going to take care of yourself.
I think as long as I'm with you, I'll be okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Susan.
Ouch, calls her the dead wife's name. That's awkward. Cops find Tyrone's body hanging, and Sam's shower reveals some angel underwear underneath a towel. Bradley's smoking and, acting weird. Who's in charge of this barbecue, and why is it not running now?
I almost forgot. I always do the cooking around this house. Dinner ready in a jiffy.
He's talking to her like she's pregnant, so she's freaked and she's trying to run, but every door is locked. She wants to get to her car. The only one that's not locked is the kid's room. She goes in there, but that's where he keeps all his victims, because he's the killer, because that makes fucking sense. And then we hear a baby crying, and he runs over and he pretends to pick it up, but it's not actually there. Then Bradley puts on his murder gloves. A little too thick in my opinion. You want to feel the pulse when you're... Well, anyways, he goes into the attic, and I'm not sure how this opens a window. She makes it to the car, but somehow he's in there. And then she runs out of there and runs into Gites' body hanging. He's been busy, but where did he find time for that? Because we've been with him the whole movie. And then the chase is on, where she just keeps running and falling, and he's walking. Eventually she runs and falls so much she knocks herself out. Then he puts a knife in her hand and walks back to the house to talk to his dead wife's photos. Lieutenant Jackson shows up, he finds Gites' body, then he finds Bradley and has a weird conversation. He's complimenting him.
You didn't finish off one of your angels. Frida lived long enough to identify you.
You came all the way out here to tell me that. Oh, Paul.
I always suspected.
Bradley tells him that Samantha's in the woods and she has the knife and is the killer. And then this happens, and I'm like, wow.
Cooper, stop! You're not going anywhere! Now, don't make me do this!
Goodbye, Paul.
Like, I kind of thought Samantha was going to wake up and kill him and survive the movie, but nope. Nope, this just hurt. The end. I love seeing Richard Moll in things. Not much of a part, kind of a dick. But then again, who is he being a dick to? Do we care? Got to see Margaret Kidder. No, she didn't do too much in this, but, we got to see her, right? Marc Singer was solid in this, as Marc Singer is solid in just about anything. If you're a Marc Singer fan, go watch V. Seriously, it's great.
I understand it seems frustrating now, Detective, but all things really do work together for good.
Amanda Righetti, who played Sam, she's a pretty good actress. She's gone on to do a lot of stuff. Don't know why she was in this shit. I guess you all gotta start somewhere. And it all comes down to David Heavener, the writer, producer, director, / lead actor. Yeah, well, the writing wasn't very good in this. The dialogue was fucking terrible. The story plot twist really made no sense at the end. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the directing made a lot of sense, and whoever edited this, probably the same guy, really chopped things where it's like, I'm doing this, now I'm doing this person's here, all of a sudden they're here. Like, it doesn't really add up.
So what was your relationship with Margie Upshaw?
I fucked her. She liked it.
Did she like it when you tied her up?
Don't recommend this. Angel Blade, why did I watch this? Well, it had Marc Singer in it. It had Margaret Kidder. I thought this chick was going to have a blade on her arm and that she was going to be Angel Blade and she was going to kill people with it. I don't know where that came from. Maybe another movie. I'll have to go searching. Well, as always, guys, thanks for watching and save yourself the trouble. Probably skip that one.